Hey everybody, Greg Migliore, welcome back. This week in the fleet, this is the 2022 BMW 330e xDrive. What does that mean? You have a plug-in hybrid 3 Series right here with all-wheel drive. I have been driving this car for almost 2 full months now. It's one of our long-termers. It has actually over 10,400 miles on it. That's a lot of miles. Almost everybody on staff has now driven it. What do we think? How do we like it? How's it drive? Let's talk about that. So, first of all, there's a couple things you need to know. Like I said, it's a plug-in hybrid. Make friends with that. If you can keep this thing charged up, you will get 20 miles of electric range. If you don't do that, make friends with the other side of the car, which is where you will fill it up with gas repeatedly, okay? It's a 10.6 gallon fuel tank. That's not a lot of fuel, let me put it that way. You will be going to the gas station on an almost weekly basis if you don't keep it charged up. Overall, I've actually really enjoyed driving it. It's a sporty 3 Series. Under the hood, you get a turbocharged inline 4-cylinder that will give you a total system output of 288 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. To get all of that horsepower, however, you must be in sport mode with the extra boost function. 25 miles per gallon, that's just the turbocharged 4-cylinder. However, when the hybrid system is doing all of its great tricks, you're talking about 67 mpge. I've actually enjoyed going through the different modes you can get in the 330e. Like most BMWs, you can change, you can tune how you want to drive the car. I can put it in all electric mode at some points, which works out well. Hybrid mode, sport mode. It's a lot of fun to drive. Let's put it that way. This beautiful shade is Portimao Blue. $550 for this. I think it's well worth it. We have the sport package, which gives you LED fog lights, 19-inch wheels, which I think are great. Those are Nokian winter tires, which have worked like a champion, let me tell you. I've really enjoyed driving this thing in winter. With the all-wheel drive, I've had no trouble. And as you can see, there's a little bit of snow going on here in Michigan. Other things in the sport mode, you get the sport steering wheel, which I think looks great. And it's definitely a package that I think you should consider going for. The premium package gives you things like heated steering wheel, heated seats, really nice headliner. I think you're gonna wanna go with that too. How does it drive? It's sporty. Like I said, those different sport modes can make this thing feel pretty good. It has that traditional 3 Series feel to it, that demeanor. Is it necessarily the sportiest of the segment anymore? No, not really, but it's still definitely one of the standards that we use to judge, what a sports sedan should be in this day and age. Couple things I want to show you. One, this is the charger. I've plugged this in at home. Basically what I'll do is I'll run my errands for the day. Then I will plug this in. I just have a 120 amp, just regular outlet. Same thing I could plug my toaster into or whatever. And this will get me, what I'll do is I'll generally charge it for maybe like 3-4 hours, sort of after work, that kind of thing. And it gets me about 5-6 miles of range. Not ideal, but it's also just, as you can see, it's just the mobile charger. With the like a level 2 charger, which you could either purchase or use on public infrastructure, you can top this thing off in 3.5 hours. Other thing you might see in here, Samsonite luggage. Why is this here? I recently took a trip to Florida. You can still see the Disney tags on there. We got 3 of these things, and this wasn't even the biggest one. There was another Samsonite that was even bigger. 3 of them in here, plenty of room in this trunk. Let me put it that way. It's a little bit smaller because of the hybrid equipment, if you will, but you can get a ton of stuff in here. It's a very, very usable sedan. Welcome inside. I think this looks like a almost $52,000 car. The sticker is about $51,800. Federal tax credits are about almost $6,000 actually. So out the door, you're talking about a $46,000-ish sticker price, which I think is a pretty good deal for a 3 Series. This is a color called Cognac, which I think is just beautiful. I mentioned those sport modes. This is how you cue them up. Sport, hybrid, electric, not bad. This is how you would operate the infotainment system through here. If you've driven a BMW in the last 10-15 years, you're very familiar with that. It has paddles. Again, right here, you can't see it because it's a pretty bright day, but this orange kind of light piping here, absolutely gorgeous. I've really enjoyed that too. This is basically how I would probably spec out my 3 Series. Cognac is a color I would strongly consider, and then the black and then the aluminum trim looks really good. I think it's very it's all in good balance. It's proportion, let's put it that way. It's comfortable. Again, the things we went for here were the premium package and the sport package. Part of the premium package is this headliner, which I think is great. And again, the creature comforts. It's a really lovely interior. The seats are comfortable. You get lumbar support on them. Heated seats, which are lovely. Again, the color is cognac. I honestly can't recommend these seats enough. When you drive a car for 2 months, if the seats are not where they need to be, that's a problem. And this car has comfortable seats. It's good visibility. Not that I'm really pushing this car all that much these days, but you can see out of it very well. The steering is great. The brakes are great. How's the acceleration? When it's charged up, it's pretty peppy. I enjoy driving it. When you're just driving basically a turbocharged 4-cylinder with like 181 horsepower, it's not quite as energetic, but hey, it gets the job done. Welcome in the back seat. As you can see, it's a great place to spend time, especially if you're like a 5-year-old or in the younger set. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of room for me. About 5'10"-ish, still got some headroom. The seat is pretty far back because that's how I like to drive, but it's not much of a compromise for the passengers. Again, the cognac orange, I think, presents just as well back here. Lived-in interior, a lot of wear and tear mainly on my part. I think my specific family has put a little bit of wear on this car, but it's a very realistic setting. Plenty of like room down here for my knees too. It's a comfortable place to spend time. Frankly, people like the mid-size crossover segment or the compact crossover segment. You get plenty of room, but you don't have to give all that up if you get like a compact sedan like this. There's plenty of room back here. I've enjoyed some little gizmos here. Want to put your drink here? There you go. If you need to get a third person back here, you can do that. But that's the back seat. It's not a bad place to hang out. And this is the 2022 BMW 330e. It's a plug-in hybrid 3 Series. There's a lot to unpack here. I've enjoyed unpacking it with you this week. Like, share, and subscribe. Get in the comments. Tell us what you think about this car. Maybe you're an owner and you're getting better fuel economy with it than we are. We'd love to hear about it. Thanks for hanging out this week. For Autoblog, I'm Greg Migliori.